Hello, I'm coming at you with Trillium's Scaled Way Up Double IPA. They haven't done this beer in almost 2 years, and I had it 2 years ago, and it was like one of my favorites. I really, really loved it. And I thought I did at least an Untapped rating and review and pictures of it, but I didn't do that, and I didn't do a video review, I don't think, unless I lost it. So I'm happy that they re-released it. I can get a review going. So it's 8% alcohol, same base as Scaled Up, their more standard double IPA that's also really good, but a lot more hops. And it uses somewhat unique combo of hops, especially for 2 years ago. It's Galaxy, Mosaic, Nelson, and Columbus. So it has American hops, Australian hops, and New Zealander hops. It's 8%. I like that. That's not super duper strong. And it uses kind of the normal grist that Trillium uses for a lot of their double IPAs. Pilsner, white wheat, flaked wheat, dextrine, dextrose, C15. This is all boring stuff that is on their website. But it was canned less than 12 hours ago. There's still some water on the top of it from when they were canning it. Ooh, I can smell the beer just in the water on top a little bit. I'm expecting good things. Maybe it'll be a little bit too chalky and bitter because it's so ridiculously fresh. But that's not something that's horrible. I'm wondering how the head is going to look, though. Pretty good head, but the bubbles are pretty big. I can tell it's going to die down. And that is just a hair shy of murky. I'd say I can't really see my finger through it when I hold it up to the light, but it's not to the point where it's looking grayish brown and muddy or anything. And the aroma is bursting. Oh boy, that's rather dank. Yeah, I'm not used to Trillium having such a dank aroma in a lot of their beers. Sometimes it happens. I think it depends on the actual batch of hops. I shouldn't say batch. I should say the specific harvest and farm it comes from. Sometimes citra hops can vary. I guess citra's not in here, but any hops can vary depending on the year and the farm and stuff. And this is coming at you with lots of dank, caddy, scallion, green onion, green peppery sort of stuff. Not quite garlic, which is a good thing. And lots of really ripe peach, really ripe citrus fruits, like mandarin orange cuties, like super sweet orange, and pineapple. But very peachy, though. It's not peach rings. It's like actual peach nectar. Maybe guava too is in there. The head's died down pretty bubbly and wispy, but that's kind of what happens with a lot of these ridiculously hazy, dry hopped beers. But yeah, it's a little dank, but I think a lot of people like that. It makes it more complex, but the dankness doesn't seem like it's going to be overwhelming. It's not garlicky. Just a hint of menthol in there. But very potent. Ooh. Ooh. Wow. That's very spicy. Not extra thick on the tongue. Got the chalkiness, it's bitter. It punches you. This is one that I think will be a little bit more palatable in a few weeks, but the flavors are pretty amazing and popping right now. I just had a sip of a Bissell Brothers Swish before I did this review, and that one was like nothing in the mouth compared to this. But the aroma on this and everything is really in your face. Almost a little white grape going on, because yeah, Nelson and Mosaic are pretty different hops, I think. Definitely definitely got that eucalyptus-y thing happening from the Galaxy. And on the tongue, it does remind me a bit of Headroom, which actually Headroom is, I think, similar hops, pretty similar hops. That one's Galaxy Mosaic and Columbus. This one just adds Nelson into the mix, but it has that chalky, bitter bite. I'm not actually tasting chalky, like, crumbled up gypsum minerally type stuff though, which I like. I find that kind of gross if I'm sipping on a beer and after a nice fruity aroma, and then it just tastes like I'm drinking water with a bunch of, powders added to it. This doesn't have that. It's like intense hop fire juice. People like to say fire is being good, but I mean, like, it wakens up your whole face. And I am getting some heat though. The booze is noticeable. I almost had noticed it in the nose a bit. This is one where I'm gonna save all the other cans. It's fun to have this one, like, when it's crazy potent, but I almost wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend drinking basically not ridiculously over hopped double IPAs the first day. I think it's fine to drink like a pale ale. Fort Point, their pale ale can the first day. Drinking it the first day is really great. But with this, I just don't want all that bitterness and cat tongue, because some of the sediment will fall, but also bitterness just, the second you package a beer, it starts going down. Well, this one has some West Coast characteristics. So I would say from all that dankness, like that actual fresh hop aroma, like they definitely do a lot of fermenter hopping with this, brings out the fruitier flavors of the hops, but then there's definitely lots of late dry hopping after all that stuff happened, where I'm getting all these crazy green characteristics. But I would recommend trying to get your hands on this. It's worth trading. It's a pretty great beer. It's I don't know why people go so crazy for Headroom. Maybe they just kind of amped it up to hype it up, but this beer is of the intensity of that. But I feel like it's got more fruit going on. That one was a little bit too big on the chalky, like, biting, grassy dry hop. This one's not super grassy. I mean, now that I'm saying grassy, I'm thinking grassy, but it's more of like just a blend of all sorts of green herby type things with. And I'm getting lots of grapefruit, like mentholy grapefruit in the aroma. Bitter grapefruit. But it's going to go through waves, because it always starts off fruitier for me, especially with the aroma. Then I drink some, it gets into my palate, the bitterness gets in there, and it gets greener, it gets more pithy. But then maybe once I get used to the bitterness, it'll turn back into the fruitiness a bit more. Oh my lord, that is very, very, very potent beer. Pretty good. The appearance, I mean, it looks like nice hop juiciness. I like a little bit more of a head, but this is just kind of the way Trillium's overdone super, super dry hop double IPAs tend to turn out. I don't know if there's much they can do about it, especially at this intensity of hoppiness. So this is my favorite. Maybe I'll do a re-review, or I'll comment in the sections if I have a can of this in a few weeks and I am enjoying it a little bit more. It's really great, but it's just not 100% pleasant. It's a little bit, trudging through some intense bitterness and greenness in this beer. I'll have to definitely share it with my girlfriend. I might even do something scandalous and mix this with some Bissell Swish and see what happens. But yeah, this is close to a 4.5, probably 4.25 for now. But I can say that it's probably only going to get a little bit more pleasant. And I doubt it'll lose much intensity, because it's really popping right now. Goodbye. Excuse me.